looking up some stuff. Okay, like I said, I just finished watching an hour ago, and and while I was looking up some stuff, I had a talk with some people, and it got very interesting for what this show could do in another season. And now the reason I open up on this page, now we know, and this okay, I don't want to spoil the show for anybody, but the show is the plot is getting a lot thicker. So this episode was another flashback episode, but it was a flashback episode from a different point of view. While episode three was from the sisters' point of view, episode seven was from Jedi point of view. So we now know what actually happened to cause all of their deaths and stuff. We now know who they really are and everything. Because at first it just said, like I say here, if you read here, oops, like it doesn't mention who they are. It just says their mother. It says witches and stuff. It doesn't say this, but now we know they are. This is they are. They are the nicest. They're one of the nice sisters. Them how they look when they go full into the. They are. It's been official. They are the nicest. So this brings so much. Okay, so wait a second. Nicest here. This brings so much of the non-canon stuff. Again, canon and legend, non-canon. Like the right here, all of this would just oh, don't do this, don't freak. And like all of this in the canon was not official. Again, if you see legend, that means it's not official. It's non-canon. It's the books. It's stuff that's not officially in the main storyline. But now a lot of this stuff is now can be easily brought into the main storyline. It is good. Like if you don't know the nicest or anything about the nicest, they are very powerful. They lean more towards the dark side of the force. Then there's the Night Brothers, which I guess come to think about this also bring that in. So that's a lot of stuff that was not canon. That's canon now. And oh wow. So the Night Sisters, as you can see, they're a clan and they're more powerful dark side of the force. They the way they use their powers. But I was trying to find this is the closest thing I find to a full list. There's way more than in this, but the closest I can find. So one of their power is telekinesis, obvious push and pull, use force transformation. Okay, this is one they use in the. You look at her transform in this. Like if you look at here, they first debut in 1994. Who was over this part? This was in the show, 1994, right? George Lucas was over this show, this book. He was official. So this was a show. This was not the movie or anything. So this was not in the official stuff until now. Weather control is one of their powers. Animal control. It's interesting. Illusion, animation, possession. Of course, lightning. We don't see them use too much. Kind of see them that. Here is. This is what they wanted. Another one they use it. So teleportation. This is kind of they did. I think they did. Is this because what they did in the show more of a transformation because they transform into mist and stuff like that to try to get away and escape. But it could also have been possession because when you look at possession in a show, they transform into mist, right? But could it mist be them just going to ride and control them, or could it be just them transforming into mist? See, it's kind of hard to figure out which one is which. Possession, what they did in the show is possession, but just it wasn't just her. It was the whole cover, and like a lot of what they did with the Night Witch now, and like they use a lot of this power, like even healing. I'm seeing like I'm seeing like okay, how did the stranger learn healing? I'm like, I am calling it now. I am 100% calling now. She trained him. He's strong in the force. Gave him a lot of training. She gave the stranger so much more training because again, if you look at even list of their powers, mind tricks, they did that. Voice rain, he does that in a fight. Lightning, I didn't see them use lightning. Don't see them use rain. Oh no! I just thought about it. Oh no! What if they could do that? They could really do that. For the last episode, they could actually reanimate the the corpse. That's so bad. Will be so cool. I just hit me reanimation of course, right? He made sure in previous episode that you knew they were dead, that that you knew the people were dead. So what if in this episode, what if the 1 month who last, what if she animated a corpse? Oh, that could be so possible. That would be so. Ooh. Okay, so now a lot of people don't understand what are the twins. Why are they focused on the twins? Don't know about this stuff. Twins are a board virgin or a point. Virgin is a nexus point. Basically, if you know about nexus and Marvel, they're similar to that. Nexus point is where the force is the strongest or stronger, and it's a point where if you have that power, you can do almost anything by using the force. And while I was talking to some people, I was like, theoretically, this is possible. This is a very much possibility. Instead of being reanimating a corpse, they can literally just bring the people back to life, like like little revivification. They can just put so much force in them to bring them back to life. Because we know Palpatine does that so much, where transfer his conscience and stuff is all his thought into another body. But what if they can just reanimate the body? What if this was the whole point of what Palpatine was trying to do the whole time? Oh, this bring up so many questions and answers. So now I'm gonna get into this. Now we know what Soul did. He don't get it. The episode was titled Choice. That's what Soul did. Soul made a choice to pick one sister or the other. He was trying to save both, but at the time he had to choose Queen. or her bullshit. And the thing is, after they don't know what happened, they it was a cover up. It's this is why I keep telling people the Jedi is not 100% good. They're not always good. They have to pick and choose the right things. They have to. They basically have to walk a thin line to try to make sure they don't come out the wrong way. And a lot of times, because they're trying to walk that thin line, they end up messing up more. I mean, somebody told me they've been like early. So in this case, people were trying to say Stowe was spy on them or whatever. But in this episode, he wasn't not spying on them. He ran into them another planet. They was on the planet. They they were there trying to look for versions. It's it's a nexus point. Force nexus. This is what it is. A force nexus is where the force is the stronger, if not the strongest. So somebody was saying earlier, uh, would the twins be a diet? Yes, but no. Yes, but no. It's kind of interesting, right? If you look at here, I think they are a diet, and the reason they are is the way I told them is think of the force as like a bubble. Yes, there are force outside, but the nexus is a bubble. The diet is the basically the membrane of the bubble itself. The nexus is what's inside the bubble. So if you have a balloon or a bubble that filled with helium, or you can fill a balloon with water, that will be the equivalent of the force. If it filled with water, it's heavier than air. So that point, that would just drop straight down because like, what what keeping the force in is the diet, and that's why Ray and Kylo are a diet. They are basically they're strong with the force, but they're not connected as the Nexus is. Nexus is basically um, two sides of the force. Well, no, not two sides. The Nexus is the force itself being held together. The diet is basically the two sides of the force holding it together. So the more I think about this, the more I wonder because technically and theoretically, if someone have the power of what they call the power too. If they have the power, this much power that the twins have, they could literally just rip planets apart. They can raise the dead. They can actually just send out a shockwave and kill everybody in the who's strongly connected to the force. Like, if you understand the power they can have, they can. That's like, and they can also do like a massive force heal if they want to. Again, one of the powers of nightsister transform. You can basically out of this put in by and just put everybody to sleep. They can. I don't know how they will do teleportation. That would be a lot. But it could, and this could be possible, where they could just teleport everybody strong in the force, just teleport them into the middle of in the middle of space. Would that be so messed up? They could, like I said, they could do force healing. They can also just they can go out and just take that power and go to every single person and just rip the force from them and add it to their what stuff they could do with this power. And I'm like, no, no, this is so much power. What was it saying? No one person should have all this power. They can do all this force range. Like I said, this they could go to each person. They gotta send them in space, or they can be close to them and just drain them of their power completely. Like, force light. Is it force lightning at that point where they could just electrocute, like flash fry a whole planet, control every force use? That's a lot. I'm on the yeah, they could create illusion. They could create illusion that are actually real. Oh shoot! Like not just illusion, but actually make it. Basically, they just take a. Okay, if you know about a orange lantern, Fleet. I don't. He's the owner orange lantern, and those strong, the only ones that all of the engine go through. He's at the point where he creates his own lantern core by sheer willpower of his own greed alone. Which the one thing core fleets really won't in the world is can get Stanley back. Yeah. Just like I said, they can rip a whole planet apart. Just I'm all the things transform transforming in an animal is, but it could change the species of people by force. Weather control, same thing with lightning. They basically take all the water, let out the stuff. Water goes slide back and take the water and turn snow and freeze. Have it over the. They could take all. Basically, if there was an Earth, they could take all the water in the oceans, make them in clouds, and just drop like megatons of snow onto them. They can wipe out the amount of stuff they could do. My mind is just racing. Oh, I am gonna get a headache for this, and that's not a good thing. Like, voice range, like, like people, I still don't understand why people hate this show. Like, yes, the writing is bad. Okay, let's look up this line. Look it up for look. Forget that.
It's coarse, rough, and irritating.
Forget forget stuff like that. Ah,
I
come on.
don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
People forget stuff like that.
I don't like and irritating. irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Like people forget that. Yeah, people forget that the old Star Wars had cheesy lines and stuff like that. It's not that new. So you mad about the dialogue? It's similar to what the old shows and movies had. And I'm like, yes, get about that stuff. They try to push that out of their mind, but when you go back to watch the old stuff, you'll be so much surprised at literally how many of the movies have so much backstory. And like the one with the pod racer, oh, fine, it's so razor. Yes, it's had the stuff that has come down. Yeah, I believe it was a Phantom Man. Phantom Man's had pod racer. Oh, my mind's gone. I'm not sure. Always look out. On the show, yeah, it was a Phantom. Yeah, Phantom Man. That's what I thought. And like that, like, come on, the whole movie was about a young kid pod racing. Well, not the whole movie, but a good chunk of the movie about a young kid pod racing. You gotta think about it. Star Wars had cheesy and corny lines. That is nothing new. So if you're upset about how they're acting and stuff, you gotta understand they're trying to keep it as close to Star Wars as possible, while going too far into acting and stuff. And I like that. Like the fact that people are upset about this. I'm like, if you're upset about this, go and watch the old shows and movies. If you're not upset about how the acting stuff was in old shows and movies, you're really just being upset about the show. And you can watch that first season of Mandalorian as lines. You can watch Ahsoka Tano. You can watch any of the old stuff. They had lines like that in all of them. You're just not remembering it. Like I remember this. I don't like Sandline because it feels like terrible, but it got the point across that he's trying to make a connection with her in his own way. Always also yeah, coordinating. Like man had negative. He had negative riz. Like the fact they got together. Okay, let me just get out that. But yeah. Hey, I was planning on doing a review of the boys last week, but like I was gonna put out my last video and come back and do a review of the boys, but I wasn't feeling it. So I put that off, and now by the time I started feeling better, that after the holidays, it's been a while, so I'll put that off. So maybe I'll try to put a review of the boys when it come out. But yeah, the Acolyte is I like what they did because people are there. Are people like I wish they was started, you know, with what happened episode 5, 6, and 7, and like okay, but you need a base for that. If you just go into that, you can be like, okay, now what do we do? You go into that point, and they have to go back to that, and like, but you gotta understand. Okay, episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like all the episodes I said before, their names are set up that way because two sides to it. One episode was called Revenge of Justice. First episode Lost and Found. Second episode Revenge of Justice. Third episode Destiny. What was the fourth? Oh, Day and Night. I remember. As soon as I clicked it, I hit remember Day and Night. Fourth episode was Day. Fifth episode was Night. This episode was Choice. So Choice and Destiny. It actually did it. Wait. Yeah, Destiny. Third episode was named Destiny. Opposite of Destiny is something that's out your control. And oh, yeah. Let's see. Opposite of Choice is one of them. Always do this in case trying to make it about like trying to. Oh, I can't. What? Do it. The weak opposite. So they actually did what I said it was gonna do. I'm like, eh, the episode name. I'm like, each episode had a difference. So one was Lost and Found, episode Binge and Justin with Choice. Episode 4 was Day. Episode 5 was Night. Episode 6 was Choice. So they did what I say they was going to. Man, I really don't understand. I people are saying, okay, the dialogue is corny. Yeah, all the old Star Wars with this. That's nothing new. The acting is corny. Yeah, all the old Star Wars bad and corny. That's nothing new. The way the lines, the story, the writing, again, all of the old Star Wars was like that. If you go and watch, this is what I tell people. A New Hope was planned to be a one and done movie. They did not think they were going to Revenge of the Sith. They didn't think they were going to do a Return of the Jedi. They didn't think they were going to Phantom Menace. He had no plans to do any of the other stories. George Lucas had one plan. He was like, I'm going to just make this one movie and try to give it a happy ending. He didn't have a plan to make a part two or a second movie or any of that. Like, it's the same thing with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy One was literally not planning to be a two, three, four. They wasn't planning to make it on to 16 and 17. I don't even know. I didn't find. I played into fun. Oh, there. Oh, no, I think. Oh, no, I don't mean. Wow, I just mean the main line. 19. There are 19 main line, but they're open and spin-off. I remember playing this one at 13. Yes, played 13. I think I have 13. I gotta look again. 13 was interesting. It was narrow until it got to a point when I can see why they did it. I need to play. Okay, I played. Okay, I played. Okay, I did. I don't own all of the games. I emulated some of the old games, and I played 7, 8, 9, or 10. I think I played. Did I play 11? Don't think I played 11. I think I played. No, I played. No. Oh, this 11. Did I play 11? Don't think, if I'm asking for that. Oh, I didn't play 11. I play 11. Eh? Ask yourself, did you play 11? The answer is no. Oh, that's why, because it's online. Yeah. Like, did I play 11? Oh, and because it's online. That's why I didn't play it. Played 12, 9. No, that was just 12. So I played 12. Yes, I got it. I don't like the play thing. It's 11 and 4. Yes. So that's the reason I didn't play those. Third. Yeah. They did not have plans to make they made Final Fantasy 1. They didn't plan to make it through, but it was a hit. Same thing with George Lucas' store. New Hope was supposed to be a one and done movie, but it was a hit, so they made the rest of them. And I believe I'm not trying to tell people my age, but I want to say this: I watched second movie in theaters the first time it came. I watched the first. Wait, what's the second movie? Kind of weird how they. I remember watching these theaters, but I oh, did I watch them the first time they came? I'm, I remember seeing them theaters, and I thought it was the first time. Did I watch them? I was too young the first time, so I had to be the second time. I remember watching second movie in theaters. But was it the second time it came? Because I remember watching the first movie on video. I remember watching the second movie in theaters, third movie in theaters, first time. Then I saw them again on TV. Was it the first? It's because I thought I seen it the first time. It could have been the second. Yeah. Again, if you do not like the show, it's similar to old Star Wars. All the lines, all the again, the Night Sisters were in the old show. It's they're they are in Star Wars lore. but they were not how they. It was not fully canon. All of this, Acolyte non-canon. All of this, or a lot of this, were anime. The new stuff, yes, a lot of new stuff is now canon, but the old stuff when they first appeared was canon. The Acolyte just brought a lot of the non-canon legend stuff to canon, like Cortosis wasn't canon until now. So how I feel about it, I said this at the beginning of the season. Episode 1 and 2 was supposed to be a two-parter, but I look at it separate but together. Episode 1, I will give it an 8 out of 10, and by proxy, I gave episode 2 an 8 out of 10. Episode 3 was like a 7 out of 6 or 7 out of 10. It was I like the backstory. I'm interested in the backstory, but I didn't understand it at the time. Then episode 4 came out, and I'm like, okay, I this is a setup episode, so I can't judge episode 4 for that reason because it was a setup episode. It was set up episode 5, and if you look at again, 1 and 2 is together, 3 is a backstory, 4 and 5 are together. So if I give episode 1 and 2 8 out of 10, because it's a good starting point, it got me into the show. And episode 3 was a backstory, and it was like, okay, it's a backstory. I understand. Give it a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's just so many questions need to be answered, and like it gave me like way too many questions that was not answered. Like okay, and I want to like okay, and when the episode is gonna do that, I look at episode 7 and 8. Oh no, sorry. Episode 1 and 2 is together. Episode 3 is together. Episode 1 and 2 is together. Episode 3 is together by it's separate by itself. Episode 4 and 5 is together. Like I felt like they was strong, and they were at the time. I was like, okay, this is a strong 9 out of 10, possibly 10 out of 10. It's really good. The setup was there and everything. The payoff to a lot of the setup was there. I'm like, and I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. And then episode 6 came out. I'm like, the aftermath of the thing. Like, okay, so now instead of being just two, it's a three-part to that. So understand what happened before, what happened during, and what happened after. I'm like, okay, this is a high 9 out of 10 now. This is really strong. And I'm like, okay. And then they gave us this episode. Like, oh yeah, there's so many questions, but it also leaves so many more. And if you don't know about the Night Sisters and stuff, you wouldn't know about what's really going on, what their powers are. Like again, I don't just like I I watched the shows, I watched all the old shows and stuff. I wasn't too much into the cartoons. I did like watch a bunch of episodes and stuff, but I didn't I, during the time I was in school and stuff, so I didn't get much time to actually sit down and watch them in order. So I always was like, I will always miss some episodes unless they get repeated on the weekend, and I couldn't do that. I just missed the episode and not know what was going on. I was upset, so I watched something for you, but I couldn't get much into it after. I seen part those episodes in season, but I couldn't get really keep up because the things going on. And I watch all the live action to Andor. I'm like I watched episode 1.5 of Andor. I'm like, yeah, I'm folding out because I don't even know what the story is. What's the who's the villain? What's going on? I'm like, okay, is this the villain? Is this person a villain? I'm like, then I found out. The villain is the middleman. It's bureaucracy. It's not even the leader. It's just the middle person. That's the villain. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. But I'm going to give it a try. Watch the Ray movies. I have to. I've recently watched 1 and 2. I have to watch 3 again, and I'm gonna do that soon. I just when this started, I didn't want to like watch all of it together. So I'm gonna after the Acolyte ends next week, I'm gonna have to watch part 3 again. But again, because I did episode 1 and 2 together, which is the 8 out of 10. Episode now episode 4, 5, 6 together, which wrong 9 out of 10. Episode 3 and 7, I have to do those together because they go together. Again, you gotta understand episode 3 and 7 are from two different points of view. 3 is from the twins' point of view. 7 is from the Jedi point of view. Episode when you put them together and see it from each point of view, understand the full story. And like because of that, this bump up episode 3. Like this episode was a 10 out of 10 because it answers so many things I had questions. Like we now know what Saul did. We now know what really happened. We now know the whole thing was a cover up, and and why. So this is a 10 out of 10. That bumps up like the final episode. Everything was bumped up because of this episode. Everything is now a 9 out of 10. And I'm like, the only reason it's a 9 out of 10 is because the last episode. That last episode, what pulling me in? What's going to happen? Like like I said earlier, there's so many things that he could do. There's so many things you can do with that much power, and that's what's like. I want to know. I want to know an answer to that. What is he going to do with that much power? Because I list out all the stuff that's possible, but what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And that's why, like, just because of this episode and the previous episodes, like this bumped up episode. Like this episode was a 10 out of 10, but it gives so much answer and stuff to episode 3 that would get bumped up to a 9 out. There was so much stuff that was missing from episode 3 that episode 7 just answered, and now my mind's like, oh, like last week I called it. They were nightsister. Called that last. I'm like, I called it. I was right. I knew they were nice sisters, but I didn't know they were gonna say it. So they pointed out Cortosa, and I'm like, oh, like I didn't start making. This is the reason why I didn't just start making videos about Star Wars this show until now. Because episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 had me asking, okay, if first episode 1, 2, and 3 had me ask way too many questions for the episode 3 and 4. Again, 4 is a lead up to episode 5, and 4 and 5 like, oh. Then episode 6 came out, like, what did he do? What really happened? I'm like, no, I thought like he killed one of their mothers. Oh, okay, first kill one of their mothers because she was about to take possession of the kid and run away. I understand why he's there. Then basically they basically backseat feedback, the other members of the other night sisters, and basically fried their brain, knocked them out. Excuse me. So they was incapacitated to actually leave on their own. They could have saved them, yes, but in a fire, everything was exploded. So now I know. So far, this show has a nine. It's the only reason it's a 9 out of 10 is because have I have this one question that like, what what is the stranger gonna do with the stuff that she get the power to? Because I have so many possibilities of what they can. I don't know. This show had to get a season two. Like this show needs a season two because I feel like if they say the stranger is a apprentice, which is what it's looking like, because you read the comment, the acolyte were the 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 apprentice of the apprentice, and if the show goes that way and say there's a Sith master and he's just a Sith apprentice, and see that how that work out. I mean, they basically laid out so far, and I want season three to be whoever survive final episode. The master is now trying to chase them down and try to find them. I want that to be where the sisters are trying to reconcile their problems and stuff. If Soul make it, he's trying to protect them and keep them together. If the stranger makes it, I'm trying to figure out how the stranger should join them. Join them, that would be really interesting. Now if they do all four of them run away, it would be the Jedi Council, the, the shipmaster, all both of them trying to chase them down. That means if if they don't report it, which from what I'm telling you, it doesn't get reported. They don't get reported and everything, which it shouldn't. The Lord going. Then three or two to four of them are going to be on the run, like for next season. Um, this is why I say the show is more like a fugitive than a murder mystery. Oh, I'm getting too long with this. My mind is just lost. Uh, this show is more like a fugitive, where it's we know who did it. We know that there was a lot of misunderstand questions stuff that need to be answered, but we didn't know how everything was going to end up. And this episode, just like this episode, just hit you with and everything. I like it. I like this episode a lot. Again, if you don't like Star Wars, don't like the dialogue stuff, haven't really been searching stuff Star Wars. I okay. Another thing, I not the best at sit down and just read stuff, but I when I try to read stuff, I do that. I try my best, but there's videos online of people reading their comics, watch them. I did as well. Not hard to understand and get into, but you're gonna watch some YouTube video, you can just in the background just review. Here's some interesting, rewind it, and that's what I did for a lot of stuff. But I am gonna say this, and I say this to them. Call it right now. What I don't want to mispronounce the name. But Mother Colonel Cornrow is still alive. He was training the stranger. So I'm calling. Anyway, I gotta I gotta go later.